Hey Braxton, so here's another one, another example. We need to slow down on these offers that you're generating. I sent out quite a few offers without going through all your spreadsheet, and I got a couple back. One was on a busy street that they wanted to accept. I had to get rid of it, and another one was completely surrounded by commercial that that I needed to get rid of too. They wanted to lock it up, and I got rid of it immediately. Here's another one that I mean we need to slow down and take a look at these properties. I've noticed when I send these uh, or when you're doing these updates, I mean, the other day you went through like 10 properties in like 5 minutes, and these I spend some time on these, looking at these, making sure um, that what I'm getting into makes sense because the spreadsheet, the offer template that we have only makes sense on properties that are, somewhere around, 30 to $50,000 range in rehab. Based on this formula here, I only had 25,000 in this, but I also adjusted the purchase price weight it discounts it pretty heavily, so we can afford to put 50 or 60,000 into it and still make money. But but I mean that just gives you an idea that the spreadsheet only works if we're doing our job on looking at these properties. So here's one that's a great example. We put out an offer on it, and they immediately wanted to take it. And when I pulled it up, I mean, it took me about a whole 2 seconds to see that we've got problems here with this house. I mean, you can see this thing kind of sloping down was the first thing I looked at. You can see this wall is kind of coming this way, and right away I saw these. It looks like this part of this house is on center blocks over here. This is probably a scrape, um, but I mean, yeah, here again. I don't know what is going on here. This house is in really bad shape. I mean, look at this. Um, I I mean this isn't going to work probably at the price that they have it, and it definitely isn't going to work on our spreadsheet because we might be looking at a house that needs $100,000 in rehab. Um, and I don't know what the ARV was on it, but we need to slow down, take a look at these. When you start to see problem houses like this would be one that I would stop. Uh, if I'm interested in it, I'd print it out and go look at it before we send an offer on it, just because um, there's too many problems going on with this house to just send a blind offer on it. You know, but some of these that we're sending blind offers on make sense because you can just pull up the pictures. You can see that the house is pretty decent. Let me pull one up real fast and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here's Yukon, and I'm in the middle of negotiating with them from one of the offers that we sent out. And this one, you can clearly see that the house is not in bad shape at all. Um, so a blind offer on this um, is completely fine, right? Because you can pretty much see there's nothing structurally wrong. You can look through the notes down here and see if there's anything structurally going on with it. And so, and I actually went and looked at this property over the weekend because they are really, we're really right in the middle of negotiations. And when we get there, and I, it looks good on the computer. The numbers look good. I go out and look at it, and I went and looked at this property. It looks great. I think I'm a little concerned about a few comps, and I'm going to have you recomp it just to see what you come up with on this. And so spend some time on looking at this property and really making sure that our ARV is spot on. The only problem with this property is, and I don't know if it's going to be a big issue, is the house across the street. When I went and looked at it, is in really bad shape. I mean, that's a nightmare house right there. That's the only thing going on that worries me about this house. I mean, some of the potential buyers might look at that and be like, you know what, I'm not going to spend. Well, geez, what do we have? what do we offer on this thing? $115, Yukon. So we're thinking the ARV is around 575. We offer 423. They're asking 475. So, did they lower it? I think they lowered it. They did. They lowered it down to 445 since they've been talking to me, which I don't particularly like that. But anyways, that's where we're at. So I want you to slow down on these and really spend some time on looking at them. This isn't a 2-second glance at a few comps and send it out. You've got to look at these properties and see if they make sense, versus some of these others that I've been having to go through and try to explain to realtors why I don't want to move forward with their offer anymore, which is actually pretty easy to explain away. I can just say we found a different property they're more interested in. But if we're going to make offers, I mean, after we make an offer on a property, and we're too high, it's really hard to go back and submit an offer lower a week later when they're like, oh, is this what? And then you get into that weird discussion with the realtor, be like, well, you offered this a week ago. What's going on here? And so we want to be a little more careful with that. So, anyways, when you pull up the newly listed properties today, take your time, go through them. Make sure you follow the sheet that I sent you, because if you followed the sheet, I wouldn't be dealing with these ones that aren't commercial, surrounded by commercial and surrounded on busy streets. So just make sure you do that, okay?